California Governor Newsom was initially against the proposed tax for California residents who make over $1 billion, a wealth tax. Now he's advocating for a nationwide wealth tax. Katie Zakaria joins me now. Katie, I know we're accustomed to hypocrisy in politics, but this really is a complete reversal.
I just love that Gavin Newsom saw the billionaires fleeing out of California on this proposal, and instead of realizing that this is not a popular thing and it is going to really hurt economies, he's decided, let me just bring this to the national level and try it there. And in his words, so they can't flee the billionaires tax. This is so anti-business and very much in line with what Gavin Newsom has already done with California, which is ostensibly to destroy a very great and functional state.
And we've seen this shift to the left from other California Democrats, and I'm thinking in particular Ro Khanna, who has linked himself to Plattner, was holding on very tightly to Plattner until just in the past 24 hours when this new revelation came out. I'm just wondering if some of these politicians are going to have buyer's remorse about linking so closely to Marxism and socialism. What do you think?
Absolutely. They should start looking at it as a form of it's actually destroying their own party, that's destroying the establishment Democrats. So out of self-preservation, they should start speaking out against the Marxist infiltration of the Democrat Party. The Democrat Socialists of America, as is all forms of socialism, is a Trojan horse for communism. They come in and give all of these false promises and free health care, free this, free that, but they have no way to pay for it. So once it's unaffordable in a city, then they bring in communists and they start buying up, the government starts buying up all of the land and the buildings and implementing their own system because it's unsustainable. I lived in Beijing, China. I've seen this. So Ro Khanna, and we go back to California, Ro Khanna getting rid of Plattner is the same thing that they did with another success out of our state is Eric Swalwell. And they're all swallowing Plattner because he's such a disgrace to the Democrat Party.
Well, you know, President Trump in recent weeks has been talking about, insisting on calling them not socialists, which is what they call themselves, but candidates, and but communists themselves. I mean, they are. A lot of them are committed in the past to communism, or at least use Marxist jargon to talk about what they're going to do. Mamdani does that by saying he's going to decommodify private housing. That is shorthand, Marxist shorthand, for a government takeover of about $50 trillion worth of private housing in America.
Absolutely. July 3rd, Mamdani's speech was a very clear and somber message, sending the message, you must and start hating your country. And these are those inroads that socialism, quote, and actually communism start laying. Hate your country, upend what it stands for, and while I'm sending that somber message to hate your country, I'm going to bring in all of these programs, as we mentioned earlier, that are unsustainable. Free healthcare, free buses. What happened to the free buses? I didn't see any free buses. Rent freezing, which ostensibly offsets all of the landlords, and then what happens? A government takeover comes in, and then really bring in communism. And I'm so glad President Trump is calling it communism, because that is exactly what it is, and it needs to be called that.
It's happened time and time and time again. You saw it in China, I saw it all over Latin America, so we don't want it here, that's for sure. Katie Zakaria, great to see you. Thank you so much, appreciate it.